Hi friends, it's me, your friendly holy yoga teacher. Miss you all so much. I haven't been doing yoga myself, or clearly haven't been teaching it, so this will be much needed in my body, hopefully, as well as yours. Just kind of got a wild hair this afternoon, said I'm ready. Kids have left, moved back to Texas. My mom is gone. It's actually been 24 hours now that I've had no house guests, which is the first time in 4 months. And so much to be grateful for, even though I feel like I've been in kind of a state of panic the past couple months. Yeah, got a new grandbaby and got a new son-in-law, and life is good. So anyway, let me just start by praying. Father God, we just ask you to just be present in our practice tonight, wherever we're practicing. I just pray that you cover us with your assurance and your peace. Lord, nothing surprises you. Help us just cling to that truth and that knowledge, and that when we feel overwhelmed, anxious, frustrated, that we can just come back to your word and to your truth. Amen. So what I'm going to do is have you start out, if you would, in child's pose. And I'm going to leave you there for just a few minutes while I read a devotional. So go ahead. I believe you know child's pose. I'll come here and demonstrate real quickly. Start out on all fours. Separate your knees nice and wide. Bring your big toes to touch. And then settle your booty back onto your heels. And walk your arms out forward. And finally, lower your head. You'll start to feel some release in your back and your shoulders, and definitely in your hips. Maybe after a minute or two, you could even start to wiggle in and find a deeper shape. Don't worry about watching me. I'm just going to read this devotional that I wrote this afternoon. And if you are having the time of your life with this COVID-19 experience and there are no concerns, then this is not for you, but this comes from my heart. We are a culture of fearful people. We fear failure and we fear success. We fear loving too deeply and we fear being unloved. We fear for our children and we fear childlessness. We fear poverty and we fear that we cannot trust ourselves with too much money. Our list is endless. If we are honest, we might even admit that we fear yoga. We may be worried about failure or disappointment. We may fear the spiritual trappings of yoga, the weirdness of it all. Or we may be wary of the stranger practicing his deep breathing on the mat next to us. Some fears are more personal. Maybe we're afraid of injuring ourselves or re-injuring something we have been protecting in our physical body. Maybe we fear humiliation, like when we were kids and picked last for dodgeball. Or maybe we fear not having the right yoga outfit, or we fear taking off our socks and exposing our strange-looking feet. Maybe we're afraid that if we try yoga, we will just prove once again that we aren't good enough. Marianne Williamson said in her book, "The ego asks 1,000 questions to which there are no answers." In other words, we either allow ourselves to be continually drained and fearful with our host of doubts, or we can choose to step forward and live lives with courage, sometimes borrowed, and with faith. Our feelings cannot be trusted. These past few weeks, I've been exploring the Enneagram as a tool for self-discovery and for growth. And if you don't know what that is, it's an ancient personality typing system. Most of what I've learned about myself are things that make me cringe. And the more I look at my emotional state when I think and act as I do, the more convinced I am that my feelings are almost always based on lies. When it comes to self-talk, I am just shy of a pathological liar. So if I know that I cannot trust how I feel in any situation, and I cannot trust my own interpretation of what is happening, then I need to turn back to the only truth I know. I can't just make myself feel safe and positive and sunny, but I can read the truth in the pages of my Bible that promise me everything turns out according to his plan. Nothing surprises God, and certainly not COVID-19 in America. Not to say that everything will return to exactly as it was, but as believers, we know the ending, and it is happily ever after. Faith is choosing to trust in the truth and deny the lie, and it is available for us in every situation, and we need it now more than ever. So the truth I want you to consider tonight as you practice on your mat is that you might be lying to yourself when you cling to fear and defeat. God invites us to trade our fears and insecurities and lean into him as a child does to his daddy. From his word, we know that our inheritance is secure as beloved child of our Abba Father. Okay, so if you're in child pose, slowly start to press yourself up into all fours while I start the music. And from here, make a little extra space for yourself by walking your palms out, curling your toes under, maybe lifting the knees first, and pressing your hips up and back and find downward facing dog. Take a few steps, pedaling your dog. And then go ahead and walk to the top of the mat and find ragdoll forward fold. Bring your hands to the opposite elbow creases. Keep a nice deep bend in the knees. Just let your head hang, dangle, maybe sway your whole upper body. And release your hands and slowly rise up. Just one vertebra at a time. Get to the top, turn your palms to face out. Circle, sweep your arms up overhead, maybe a back bend if that feels good. And exhale, hands to center. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Hands are on the floor, your shins or your thighs. And then plant your hands and step back and find high plank. In this high plank, make sure the shoulders are stacked over the wrists and your heels are over your toes. You can even look back and check them out, making that Barbie doll foot. And then let's all drop our knees, shift shoulders forward and lower, just to 90. Drop the belly and press up to cobra. Toenails are pressing into the mat, arching the upper spine, opening your throat, and find downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here, deep and full. When you finish the last breath, tiptoe back to the top of the mat, back into your forward fold. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back and find high plank. Again, stay here or drop the knees. Lower, then find your cobra or your upward facing dog, pressing just the toenails and palms into the mat, and downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Breath. Step to the top of your mat and take a forward fold. Halfway lift, nice long spine, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain. Circle sweep the arms all the way to the top. And exhale, forward fold. Last time through Sun A. Halfway lift, long spine. Step back, high to low plank. You choose. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths while I turn the music down just a little bit so you can hear me. All right, after your 3rd breath this time, if you're ready, bend your knees, step or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, long spine, forward fold. Now find your chair pose. Bring your big toes to touch and a little bit of space between the heels. Start to soften your tail and bring the weight into the heels of your feet. Plug your shoulders, your arms, upper arm bones back into your sockets. And bring the palms to face one another, or maybe even spin the pinkies towards the center. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale's your cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, raise your right leg. Toes are pointing down to the mat, keeping your hips square. And your exhale, bring it through to the chest. Plant your right foot. And find your warrior one. Pressing down through the feet to rise up strong. Take a deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. And on your exhale, frame your front foot high to low plank. Inhale's your cobra or up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the left foot, toes face down, hips are square. Exhale, bring it into your chest for cheetah, and then plant your foot between your hands. Remember, if your foot doesn't make it, just help it along. Dial down the right foot this time, sealing the pinky toe edge. Inhale, warrior one. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, frame your left foot, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, you can always skip the high to low plank and just press back to down dog. Take 3 breaths. Maybe you start to cultivate Ujjayi breath, constricting the back of your throat, breathing in and out through your nose. One last breath. Exhale completely and tiptoe or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Chair pose. Big toes touch, softening through your tail, bringing the pit of your belly in and up. Gaze in front of you. Take one more inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale's your cobra or your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg, toes are facing down. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest for cheetah. And plant the right foot. Spin the left heel down, find warrior one. Remember, warrior one, the hips and shoulders are square to the front of the room, keeping your right knee stacked over your ankle. Take one more inhale, and exhale, frame your right foot, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, raise the left foot. On the exhale, find your warrior one. Sealing down the pinky toe edge of the right foot, hips are square. Stretch up tall and exhale. One more inhale. Frame your left foot, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 full breaths here. On no breath, step, hop, or fly, top of the mat. Last sun bee. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, find your chair. Softening through your tail, softening through your shoulders, softening in your face. Take a full breath in. Maybe sink a little deeper. One more inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right foot. On the exhale, step it through. Warrior one, right side. Rising up strong. One breath. Take another inhale. And exhale, high to low plank. If you want to fire it up, keep your right foot lifted. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, knee to chest, cheetah, and find warrior one, left side. Inhale, rise up strong. Exhale, sink into the shape. One more inhale. And exhale, high to low. Cobra or up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 full breaths. On your next inhale, raise your right leg and bend your knee and open up your hip, stacking your hip over your hip, squaring your shoulders and your collar to the mat. You can take some knee circles here by shifting forward, bringing knee to elbow, drawing great big circles. And then if you like, you can flip your dog. Bring your right foot down beneath the left, pressing in through both feet, keeping your feet parallel and reaching for the back wall. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more breath in. On your exhale, right side plank. You can stagger the feet, or you can stack the feet, left on top of right, or maybe lift the left foot. Take one more breath in, and exhale back to center, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Remember to stop anywhere that's appropriate for your body. Inhale, raise the left leg, bend the knee, and open up your hip. And maybe you stay right here, just really feeling what's happening in the back side of your left leg. Or maybe you take some circles with your knee. Just start to explore, shifting forward. Or maybe you decide tonight's the night you flip your dog. Bring your left foot to meet your right. Arching your spine, reaching for the back wall. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, left side plank. You can always drop the left knee and make this a modified side plank, or stagger the feet, stack the feet, or lift the top leg. breath in. Exhale, come back to center. High to low plank or push right into your downward facing dog. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And everyone meet downward facing dog. 2 full breaths. On your third breath in, lift the right foot. And on your exhale, bring that foot forward between your hands. Stay up on the toes of your back foot, keeping that Barbie doll foot. Find a low lunge. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Next, inhale, power it up. Come into a high crescent lunge. Sinking deep into your hips. Maybe bring the left hip forward, press the right hip back. Next, inhale, hands come to prayer. And exhale, twist to the right. Left triceps over the right thigh. Take another breath in. On the exhale, come back up to your lunge, and then open up to Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, you want to make sure again that the knee is over the ankle. Your right toes are at 12 o'clock. Your back toes are now perpendicular to the front foot. Gaze is over your front middle finger. And your right knee is guiding outward, keeping the hips open. Take another inhale. Exhale, bend the right arm, place it on your thigh, and find side angle pose. Stay right here, reaching straight for the ceiling. Bring your left biceps right over your left ear. Take another inhale. And exhale, frame your right foot, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, raise the left foot. Exhale as you step it through between your hands and set up in your low lunge. Make sure you're grounded and set up before you move on here. Knees stacking over the ankle. And then power up, pressing in through both feet. Rise up strong to your crescent lunge. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Take an inhale, bring the hands to prayer, and exhale, twist to the left. One more inhale. Exhale, we're going to spin open through our crescent lunge and find Warrior Two. Keeping a nice deep bend in the left knee. Pressing down and sealing through the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Keep the energy going straight out the fingers. One more inhale. Exhale, bend the left arm, place it on your left thigh. Reach up for the ceiling. Or bring that right biceps over your ear and reach for the front wall. One more inhale and exhale, frame your left foot, high to low plank. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step or hop, top of the mat. And find your chair pose. Big toes are touch, a little space between the heels, starting to soften and sink the hips. Inhale as you bring the hands to prayer, and exhale, twist to the right. Hooking your left triceps over your right thigh. Maybe you open your arms. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Chair pose. And exhale, twist to the left. Next inhale, come back to center. One more chair and exhale, forward fold. Separate your feet just a little bit. Slide your hands underneath your feet for gorilla pose. Send your elbows out to the sides. Bring your chest to your thighs. Maybe you give your wrists a massage with your toes. And then release your hands. Separate your feet a little further and find a Mulasana squat. So sending and softening your tail towards the ground. Maybe bringing your hands to prayer and pressing the knees away using your elbows. Keeping your spine long. If you're working on crow, this is where you might want to practice your crow. Bring your hands to the earth. Just start to take flight. Maybe lift one toe and then the other. Or stay with me in Mulasana. And bring your hands back to the earth. Turn your toes back to the front and walk them together. Forward fold. Slowly rise up one vertebra at a time. Circle sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take a couple balancing poses here. Let's do eagle on the right side. So spread out the toes on your right foot. Maybe start to bend the right knee, getting lower to the ground. And take your left foot, left thigh, and wrap it around the right. Maybe your toes even go behind. And I'm going to start with my left arm up and out at a 90-degree angle. Sweep the right arm underneath, creating those eagle arms. Remember to find something to gaze at that's not moving. Lift your elbows a little bit. Press your hands up against your face. Find your balance. And whenever you're ready, just slowly unwind. And we'll go to the other side. Spread out the toes on the left foot. Start to sink in. Maybe wrap the right thigh around the left. And to make those eagle arms. Lifting the elbows, pressing the hands against the face. And release. Shake it out. You can take another eagle if you like, or try a tree pose. So I'm going to ground down the right foot, spread the toes out wide. And take your left foot, place it on the inside of the ankle, or your shin, or your thigh. Now as you're pressing into your leg with your left foot, also press your thigh into your foot. Firm up everything in your hips, your core, maybe grow branches. Take one more breath. Slowly release. And take the other side. Start by building your base. And decide, just avoid the knee. And you can keep your arms down low if that helps you with balance, or put them out to the sides. And don't be surprised if you have one side that's easier to balance than the other. And whenever you do a balance pose, see if you can't come out of it just as slowly as you got there. And release. So if you're at the top of your mat, come to the back of the mat. Take an inhale and stretch. Exhale, forward fold. And from here, just just for a change of pace, start to walk your hands out and find downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. Maybe walk it out again. And bend your knees and slowly walk or step or hop top of the mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Chair pose, sink your hips, reach your arms, and forward fold. Halfway lift, nice long spine, high to low plank. Cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in, and a full breath out. Next inhale, raise your right leg, and on the exhale, bring it through between your hands, and we're going to open right up into Warrior Two. So dial down the left heel, spin your arms open, and find your Warrior Two. Make sure your right knee is tracking over those middle toes or maybe pressing outward. Take another breath in, and another breath out. Next inhale, I want you to straighten the right leg. Reach forward with your right arm. Come into triangle. You can drop your hand to the mat, or maybe your shin, or maybe even your thigh. They're all triangles. Choose what's best for you. Gaze at your top hand. Pulling your crown towards the front ball. Next inhale, come all the way up and find 5-pointed star. So turn your foot so that the pinky toe edges of both feet are parallel to the sides of your mat. Take an inhale and exhale. Maybe bring your hands to waist. Take a forward fold. Try not to dump all your weight into your heels. Maybe start to move the weight into the balls of the feet as if you're preparing for headstand. And on your next inhale, come up halfway. Walk your feet over in front. Turn your front toes to face the front again. I need to take a little step in with the back foot. We're going to find pyramid pose, bending over the front leg. Next inhale, come up halfway again. We're going to take a twisting or revolved triangle. Keep your hand right here on the mat, or maybe bring it to your shin and swing the right arm open for revolved triangle. And bring both hands back to the mat and find high to low plank. Cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, find your Warrior Two. Dial down the right, spin open your arms. Remember, equally defending the front and the back. Maybe at Sunday, bringing this thigh parallel to the earth. Next inhale, straighten the left leg, reach forward through your left fingertips, getting nice and long in the torso. And on your exhale, find a triangle pose. Inhale, we're going to come back up. You'll have to watch the back of me from this side. And exhale, forward fold. Take one full breath here. And inhale, come up halfway. Turn both toes towards the front, both feet facing the front of the mat again. Step in with your right foot if you would. Stretch your spine long. Try to square the hips, and then fold over the left leg, pyramid. Inhale, halfway lift. This time on the exhale, you can leave your hand here, bring it to your shin or the outside of your foot, and take a twisting triangle. Bring both hands back to the mat, step back, high to low plank. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, and drop your knees and find a child's pose. Just stay here, enjoy that moment of rest. Child's pose, go ahead and walk yourselves onto your belly for locust. So in locust, we're going to bring the arms behind us like they're wings, like we're flying. And on an inhale, lift the front of the body, and lift the feet off the mat. Lifting everything you've got. Try not to crunch your neck, look somewhere straight ahead. Take another inhale, and exhale, release. Take one more locust pose. This time maybe you'd like to try it with your arms straight out like Superman. So on your inhale, lifting the legs, lifting the arms, lifting the gaze. And lift a little higher. And exhale, rest. And your next inhale, lift yourself up, and come back, sit on your heels. So we're going to take a baby camel pose here. Make sure the feet aren't coming out to the sides. You want to protect the knees, keep them in one line. Bring your hands behind you. Maybe this is where you stay, or maybe you start to lift the hips for baby camel. Go ahead, drop your hips. Come back and find that restorative child's pose. Maybe bring your hands behind you and cup your heels. Come all the way back up. Just let your body fall over to one hip and come onto your back for bridge pose. Keep your feet 10 to 12 inches away from the hips. And on your next inhale, start to peel the tail up off your mat, lifting your hips, trying to use the strength of your quadriceps and not tightening your glutes so much. And lift your chin just a little bit closer to the ceiling, and then bring your chest closer to your chin. Maybe you walk onto your triceps and clasp your hands underneath you, opening up through the chest. And stay for 3 breaths. And the last breath, start to slowly come down one vertebra at a time, like you're making an impression on your mat with your spine. You could take one more bridge. Remember, lifting the tail first. Or if you're ready for a wheel, bring your hands up by your ears, flip your fingers backwards, and press up into wheel pose. In wheel pose, try to straighten the legs and press your chest through. And whether you're in wheel or bridge, Find a way to slowly and safely come back out of the pose. And come into happy baby, grabbing the outsides of your feet, drawing the knees towards your armpits. And roll around. Massage your spine if you like. Release your feet. Now with your left foot still on the mat, knee bent, take your right ankle and place it just below the left knee. You'll find a modified pigeon here. Draw behind the left thigh. Maybe use your right elbow to press your right knee away. And keeping your feet engaged will protect your knees.
As the distance spread, as the shadows grew, and longings came like wolves to devour you. So stay up.
Go ahead, release, and we'll switch sides. Keep the right foot on the floor, on the mat. Left ankle over the right knee, and hug in the right thigh. If you'd like to take an inversion, either choose waterfall, just bringing the legs straight up with your feet engaged. Maybe you lay a block across the soles of your feet. Or maybe you'd like to try shoulder stand. So in shoulder stand, support your low back with your hands. And then start to unfold the legs segmentally. First, my knees are over my hips. And then my ankles are over my knees. And keep your gaze on your toes.
So stay up with me, don't fall asleep. 'Cause we only have this moment once in our lives. And next time we'll meet under city lights. We're here tonight. So
if you are in shoulder stand, you can drop your feet over your head and find a plow pose. Or you can bend the knees and find Deaf Man. And then slowly, whichever inversion you chose, start to find your way back onto your back. And shift your knees a couple inches to the right. Take your right thigh over the left. Maybe double wrap the legs. Once your knees fall left, spinal twist. Gazing over the right. Next inhale, bring the knees back to center. Uncross your legs. Maybe separate the feet as wide as your mat and let them flop side to side for windshield wipers. And shift your hips to the left. Left thigh over right. Knees fall to the right, and your gaze goes left. this shape for another 5 breaths. And I start to make some ending transitions for us. And bring your legs back to center. Uncross your legs. And then straighten out the legs. Separate your feet like an A-frame. We'll find Shavasana. Let the feet fall out to the sides. Close your eyes. Broaden through the back. Palms facing up. Romans 8:15 through 17 says, "For you did not receive a spirit that makes you a slave again to fear, but you received the spirit of sonship. And by him we cry, Abba, Father." The Spirit himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children. Now if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory.
This way to last forever. I'm afraid I might let go. I'm afraid I might let go. Oh, I need a reason to sing. I need a reason to sing. I need to know that you're still holding the whole world in your hand. And I need a reason to sing. Oh, yeah, Will there be a victory? Will you sing it over me loud? Your peace is the melody. Will you sing it over me loud? So Lord, will there be a victory? Will you sing it over me loud? So Lord, peace is the melody. Will you sing it over me loud?
And slowly start to move something, maybe your toes, maybe your fingers, maybe all of it. And roll onto one side into a fetal position. And thank you for joining me in this practice tonight. God willing, we'll be together soon. May the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with each and every one of us. Amen and namaste.